Oh man, y'all can tell by the smile on my face. I'm feeling good today. I'm feeling more happier today, man, because we got that W. No Max Crosby, no Devontae Adams, no problem.
And you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
It's because you're not feeling Uzi.
Shout out to the Raiders this week, man, because they finally put me in a good mood today. I feel much better. I feel so much more better. You know, just a week after looking like a horrible team, looking like the worst team in the NFL, man, our Raiders, we bounced back this week in a big, big way with all the chips stacked up against us. I got to give this team a lot of props, man. A lot of adversity coming into this game. Like I said before, no Max Crosby, no Devontae Adams, no Thayer Munford, no Devon Diablo, no Michael Mayer, no Marcus Epps, and we still come away with that W. The funny thing about it is, even though the Carolina Panthers was on paper a much more easier matchup for us to go out and win, I felt more nervous about that game than I did about this game. Even with all the chips stacked up against us, even with all the players that we didn't have playing in today's game without those starters, I felt like these are the type of games we go out there and win. You know, I once said it, I think I made it real. I said the Raiders will win the games that we're not supposed to, but we'll lose the games we're supposed to win. Something like that. And for the most part, that's how it always is. And I feel like we were the underdogs coming into this game, even though all the experts thought we were going to win this game. I still felt like we were the underdogs. Fuck it. But we handled business today. It wasn't an easy win. It wasn't a beautiful win. But at the end of the day, like Al Davis once said, just win, baby. And that's what the Raiders did today. Shout out to AP and the staff for, handling business. I know there was a lot of things going on after last week's loss. There was a lot of speculations with the business decisions going back and forth, but we handled business. We got back together and we handled business even without our superheroes out there. Everybody else stepped up. Now, this game started off pretty rocky for the Raiders. The Browns went up 10-0, and we really didn't have no answer for them. The first drive that they had, Deshaun Watson was nearly perfect. Drove down the field. They scored a touchdown really early. We were down 10-0 early in this game, and I was like, damn, we about to go through it again. We about to stress over another game, and this Raiders team just can never get anything going. But after our first drive stalled out, the Raiders were still able to answer back and get a touchdown of our own. Shout out to Trey Tucker. This dude was all over the field. Another great weapon for this offense, man. I feel like one thing that really changed for us this game, that really helped us in this game that we were missing in the past couple of games, definitely was the run game. We had no run game coming into this game, but for some reason, some way, somehow, we answered and we were able to run the ball down the Browns' throats. Whether it was Alexander Mattison out there, whether it was Zamir White out there, or whether it was we doing these end arounds with, DJ Turner, Brock Bowers, or Trey Tucker, man, we were getting the job done. We were running the ball and we were getting huge chunk plays out there. One guy I really want to highlight in that aspect is Alexander Mattison, man. This dude had a game today, had 5 carries for 60 yards, his longest being 24 yards. I know it's not a lot, but with the carries that he did have in this game, this dude showed out, and I felt, to me, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I would love to see Alexander Mattison get more reps, at least get more carries out there, be our lead back, because Zamir White, I don't know what it is. He just ain't cutting it out for me. He had 50 yards on 17 carries. He had some decent runs here and there, but really couldn't get anything going. He almost broke off for one huge 90-plus yard touchdown, which would have been crazy. But for the most part, we've seen almost the same thing. But he did look better today than any other game. And one of the biggest knocks on, Zamir White is the fact that this dude just coughs up the ball so many times. And in this game, he fumbled the ball, which ended up in a Browns touchdown. And at that point, when the Raiders were having that momentum going for ourselves, that just definitely killed the momentum, any kind of momentum we had moving forward. And I felt like that was one of the main reasons why the Browns were able to come back in the game late in the game, was because of that turnover. Because at that point, I felt like our defense was flying around. I felt like our offense was moving, and we were just moving and grooving. We were getting everything going, but that just really kind of gave the Browns a little bit of life. And we almost lost this game, but I'm happy that we came away with the W. Now, even though we didn't have no Devontae Adams, our receivers did a solid job out there. I thought we would have used Brock Bowers a lot more, especially with no Devontae Adams in this game, but it looked like we just kind of, relied on Jacoby Myers and Trey Tucker to be those two leading receivers. Jacoby Myers had 5 for 49. Trey Tucker was 5 for 41. DJ Turner almost had one huge touchdown in this game, but Gardner Minshew, he had a couple of overthrows in this game, which was really crucial for this team. And I feel like if he hit on one of those huge bombs, man, we would have gotten this offense going a lot lot sooner. But I'm not complaining. You know, since we're talking about these wide receivers, man, I want to give some more flowers to DJ Turner, man. He's one guy that I've been a fan of, not only because he came on the podcast, but if you guys haven't checked out that episode with DJ Turner, go and check it out on the Ninth Island podcast. But he's one of those guys that has just been working his way up, especially if you know his story, man. He's been on the practice squad. He's been on the team practice squad, back and forth. But to see that he has a solid role right now in this offense, and the fact that he went out there and got his very first career touchdown in the regular season in the NFL, man, huge props to him, man. And I'm really, really happy to see that, man. He's another guy that could be utilized in so many different ways in special teams and even in the offense. So it's good to see that DJ Turner finally found the end zone, man, and that's great to see. Now, another wide receiver I want to talk about is a former wide receiver, you know, a former Raider in the silver and black, Amari Cooper. Now, this dude, man, I feel like deep down inside, Amari Cooper still got some love for the silver and black because he was looking out for Yosos, man. He definitely went out there and gifted us interception, man. Shout out to Trayvon Merrick for coming in, swooping in, and getting that interception. And if y'all didn't see, man, my boy Isaiah pulled him out, smacked him right after the dude bobbled the ball up in the air, man. It just looks like, you know, Amari Cooper is still that same wide receiver that just can't catch the ball most of the time, man. But shout out to Amari Cooper. Even later on in the game, man, Amari Cooper had a huge touchdown on us, and that could have changed the whole momentum of this game as well. But it got called back for a holding call. Shout out to the offensive lineman that really held it down, no pun intended. It's just crazy to see him again, man. It's been a while since we played against them, but, you know, I got love for him because he always got love for us. Now, outside of the offense, you know, I'm praising the offense just a little bit, especially the running game, but this win would not have been possible if it wasn't for our defense, man. Shout out to our defense for showing up and showing out in this game. We really did a great job, especially on third downs, to force the Browns to punt it to us multiple times. They were able to force some 3-and-outs, some crucial 3-and-outs for this team, and we were able to get some big plays, especially later on in this game. One guy that I really want to give a huge shout out to is, I feel like, the captain of this defense, Robert Spillane. This dude, no matter what, obviously has been the best linebacker we've had in quite a long time, and I think it's one of the best Josh McDaniels pickups that we had in the offseason last season. But Robert Spillane going out there, taking that leader role when we had no Max Crosby out there, went out there, was all over the field, had 12 total tackles, 1 tackle for loss. This dude was holding it down and being that leader that we needed on the defensive side of the ball. Now, another player that I want to highlight on the defensive side of the ball that I want to give my flowers to is none other than my cousin, Isaiah Pola. Man, my boy was all over the field, man. And it does kind of suck that, you know, he's in because Marcus Epps is hurt for the rest of the season. But this was a huge opportunity, and this is Isaiah's first NFL career start for the Raiders. So, of course, I was really excited going into this game. And, man, this dude really showed out. It felt like I seen that number 20 all over the field, man. Just flying all over the field, making some big plays out there. He had 6 total tackles in this game, 1 tackle for loss, 1 sack, and he had 1 huge pass breakup later on in this game, which really helped this team out, especially this defense out. You know, Jerry Jeudy had a huge bomb where he almost got the ball, almost got the completion for the huge first down, but you just see Isaiah just flying out there looking like his Uncle Troy and breaking up that pass. And those are the type of plays that I'm expecting to see from Isaiah out there, man. And I feel like he's going to be a big contributor to this defense. So I'm really excited to see what the future holds for Isaiah. Of course, I always got love for the Usos, the Tokos, any Polys that play on the team. I just want to see them succeed, whether it was Marcus Mariota, whether it's, you know, Isaiah Pola-Mao. I'm just really happy to see that he's trying to make the most of his opportunities. And I feel like he definitely made a mark on this game. So if I had to choose a player of the game for this game, of course, I'm going to be a little bit biased. I would go with Isaiah Pola-Mao. But overall, you know, this defense really did their job. Christian Wilkins obviously being the leader that he is on the defensive line. We got to see a lot of Adam Butler out there. We got to see my boy Janoris Robinson. We also got to see Caleb Von Chason play for the Raiders for the very first time, getting called up from the practice squad, doing his thing. And of course, you know, I got to give a huge shout out to none other than Charles Snowden. Ending the game, he called game with that huge sack to help the Raiders get this W. And now we are 2-2. Overall, what a way to bounce back after last week's atrocity, man. I got to give a shout out to AP because they handled business. We are 2-2, like I said before, and hopefully we could end up being 3-2. We're going to be playing a Broncos team that we've beaten ever since we've come to Las Vegas. I don't know how many games in a row, but it looks like a good game, and hopefully we can come away and keep that momentum going because 3-2 does sound a lot better than 2-3. So I still have a lot of hope in this team. I said it before. I said it last week. I'm not going to rule out this team. I'm not going to go out there and say, after this game, we're going to be a playoff team and we're going to go really far. But I feel like we're just going to take it week by week, day by day. And I feel like this team is slowly finding their identity. So we should be okay moving forward. But with that said, Raider Nation, man, how you guys feel about this win? Are you guys excited? Do you guys have a little bit more hope now moving forward? Do you guys still need to see something else? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Until the next one, this is your boy Simone Raider and your boys. Yeah.